Hey everybody, it's me, Max Farrow from DexApexMarkets.com. Today is the 25th of March, 2021, and we're going to be talking about the Dex Delta Signals and meeting our weekly goals. All right, what we're going to talk about in this video is we're going to be talking about what our goal is for Dex Delta Signals, increasing that goal along with the incremental crawl, and the concept of woulda, shoulda, coulda. Now, most of you know we've been working on the system for a very long time, and the Dex Delta Signals is not the begin and save all of everything. You're not here to make $1 million a week. Our system and signals that we do a lot of data research on and a lot of back testing and a lot of data analysis, we have found that back testing has shown basically that we can make between $250 and $300 a week with the Dex Delta Signals at the range and the pattern that we're using. We increase the amount of signals. It usually all comes back down to the same thing. More signals, the ratio is still the same. We kind of get this feel of it. So we're trying to seize just a certain amount and just stay on top of that. So our goal that we have set for now is $250 a week. When our system hits $250 for the week, we'll send out an email to everybody, or you'll get hit into the chat room suggesting that you stop trading. That's right. That the 250 goal is a very pronounced level. That means that if you got 250 each week, you would have about $1,000 per week on the simple math of it. You know, even though that there's 4.3 weeks in a month and all that kind of good stuff, you would still get about $1,000 or so from the process if you stopped at 250 each week. We have several weeks since we've started that we ended up, a little bit lighter, 190 or 250, or in some cases 110, and where if we would have stopped at a particular time during the week, we would have been up at that point. So we've decided to sort of venture into this process of self-navigation. Okay, the signals will fire still, but we'll use that time to track the signals, what we call in our control, and you could continue to trade them and do stuff, and we'll talk about what to do with that. Okay. Now, if you're trading one contract, okay, because the 250 goal is for when we're at one contract. So we're not like throwing in 4 or 5 contracts to get to a 250 goal or what have you at that point. What we're simply doing is keeping the incremental crawl process where you start out with one, and then once your account gets to the next level, you'll then start firing off 2 contracts at a time. And we have a whole video on the incremental crawl. Okay. So if you're starting off with one contract, if you're at one contract now, you would wait until you got to 250. But if you have 2 contracts, when you're trading with 3 contracts or even 4, like some of our master traders out there, they would be waiting till they got to $1,000 for that week and then stopping. Most of our manual traders that are out there, they're stopping around the same process, about $300 per contract out there. And I find that seems to be like the norm for most people. If you're trading 4 contracts, you're about making $4,000 a month at that level. Okay, so that's a very decent living at that point. If you were to venture out later on and get up to $5,000-$6,000 a month, you're now having a full-time job, if you will, at that point. Okay, so it's very simple. 1 contract, 250, 2 contracts, 500, and so forth. Okay, it's very simple. Now, one thing I must warn you all is the statement, woulda, shoulda, coulda. The statement is one of the one that beats a lot of traders over the head. And I got to tell you, along with, if I only, or I wonder if I just kept or stopped trading at that time, if I would have been successful, and all of that's the unknown, right? When you decide to set yourself a goal that you obtain or you get to, even if you fall short in trying to get to that goal, even if the system fails for the week or it only puts out 210 average, no, it never reached the 250, but you strive to get to that point. But if it did happen and you stopped, if you stopped during that week, once you hit your 250 goal, that's where you leave it. You don't let speculation or wondering or woulda, shoulda, coulda kind of interfere at that point, because you have controlled that stop. It doesn't matter if it goes on and wins another 250. It doesn't. There's nothing in there that says, because you could also go in and you could lose 150. And now you're only down to $100 worth of profit for the week. So take control of that process, set yourself the goal. And if it hits it, take it. I mean, if it gets to like 249, you're like, oh, should I stay or should I go? That's up to you, right? Set yourself a parameter. Like if it gets between 240 and 260, I'm going to get out. Okay. So from this point on, you have to, with the Dex Delta signals, you're going to have to assert what is your goal. We don't set our goals on a daily, like I got to make $100 a day. You should set your weekly goal. Here's what you're going to be doing. And if you miss some the 1 week, that's okay. Each new week starts anew. Okay. And if your month tally comes out to be instead of $1,000, only $750, then that's okay. At least you have a systematic process that you control during the entire time. Make your decision and stick with it. Someone will ask, what do you do with the rest of the time? Once you get to your goal, what do I do with the rest of it? Well, you can simply trade demo, right? To keep the process going, switch it over to demo, take the signal, let it fly over in demo. Okay. You can stop altogether, go fishing, quick hitter fishing. I'll love that. All right. Or turn it off and come back Sunday and see you then and start it all over again. There's no fuss, no muss. It's that simple. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFX Markets. We'll see you inside. And as always, trade well.